Welcome and welcome back, my dear tarot pals, to another pick a card reading. This is definitely another timeless reading, and it was the much requested one out of the poll that we had set up on Instagram. Welcome if you've just found me on YouTube. I am on YouTube and on Instagram. I do provide paid personal readings. You will find all the relevant information that you need to know in the description box below, so do check that out. You will also find me on Threads, but I'm kind of irregular there. I have a complete 9 to 6 job and life is extremely stressful. And thanks to my wonderful clients of Taropal, we have a pretty busy weekend, which is why sometimes you may notice, forgive me for that and thank you for understanding it, that you see like a week gone with no video. But I do attempt at least one video every week, if not 2. The target is always 2. I kind of settle for 1. Sometimes I manage that we have only 1 video skipped for a week. On that note and on that rambling that I went on, today's topic is everything that your ancestors would like to tell you here and now. This can give us ancestral healing messages. This can be a particular ancestor who channels in and gives you some guidance. This could be ancestors coming in and showing you something about your near or farther future. This is a general reading. As always, take what resonates and leave the rest. Not every message is for you. If you're feeling drawn to more than one particular pile, listen to your intuition. You will have messages across them, and pick more than one pile. On that note, let me quickly give you a close-up of the 3 cards that we have turned upside down, rather, for you to pick your pile. Option 1, we have Escapist, the number 32. You may be drawn to the number, the artwork, the words here, whatever makes sense to you, okay? Option number 2, we have Feather and the number 26. Option number 3, we have Sundress and the number 41. If you need more time to make your selection, feel free to pause the video. I'll see you in your respective piles. Hello and welcome, pile number 1. We have your oracle cards right here, and we have some angel cards. We have from the deck of ancestral wisdom a card as well. We will look at all of this, but today we want to do this the other way around. Some days I pick up oracle cards first. In fact, let's keep the rest of the cards away, and we will wrap this reading with a postcard message as well, okay? So if you are a tarot pal who loves those postcards that we use, stay tuned till the end of the reading, of course. On that note, I want to check pile number 1. What do our spirit guides and our specifically ancestors want us to know? If you'd like to know my pile selection, I know some of you enjoy that. I've gone with pile number 1. One of the messages that is already channeling in here is the energy of Pisces, okay? So if there is a significant Pisces in your ancestral lineage, that just is an additional confirmation. But for most of us, this is the energy of Pisces. It is kind, it is mystic, it has an energy of being extremely imaginative, creative, somebody who can tap into other people's energy, feel the room, what's going on. The shadow side of the Pisces is that it also has a martyr syndrome, a savior syndrome. They want to save the world, they want to sacrifice themselves. They believe, a side of the Pisces that comes out often is that they believe that self-sacrifice or giving the villain an opportunity is how the world gets better, and they can go a little extreme on that, okay? So that's a shadow side of the Pisces energy that I'm also tapping in. The fact that it has the word escapist and come home to yourself also makes me think about. Now this is 2 messages, okay? Actually, I was going to say something and then another message came in. So it's actually 2 messages. For some of you, there has been an ancestor or ancestors in plural who have used some other form of numbing to not take accountability of where their life is or where their life was. They have not been the most present and in their own lives, and they want you to be mindful of not following the same path or not going into the same journey. Now this could play out in many ways. Maybe an ancestor that we are channeling here for you has certain regrets about how they live their lives and when they should have kind of woken up from a dream or said things as they are and they couldn't. And if that is also something that's going on as a theme in your life, you're not saying what you mean, you're not facing your own emotions, you're not being true to yourself, or you're using any form of a numbing agent, alcohol, drugs, shopping, eating. There are n number of ways in which we numb ourselves, right? You know what I'm trying to say. That is a message coming in from ancestors, and what do they want to say about it? We'll see with the cards, but that's just coming in, okay? Sleep is clearly showing up. She's sitting on a bed. She has those warm feet. Some of your ancestors may be coming in your dreams, or you may be dreaming of them, or symbolically, they're trying to show you signs, okay? We have a lot of greens and reds, as you can see, which is the root chakra as well as the heart chakra energy coming up for you. That connection of feeling safe because you're loved, okay? One of your ancestors definitely want to say that you're loved. So if you're denying yourself any kind of a pleasure or connection or affection because you're scared of getting hurt, the message here for some of you, I'm sorry, I'm shaking the camera while I'm shuffling the deck, is to not escape through life, to not feel like, because I have had such bad experiences or I've felt so much sadness, I don't want to let people in because it always leads to me feeling hurt, okay? I hope that makes sense. We will dive deep into this. Let's look at your tarot cards right away. What does pile number 1, or rather our pile, ancestors want to say to us, okay? We do have 2 cards out. I'm not taking reversals for this one. So we have the Page of Pentacles. Let me give you a quick close-up. That's your Page of Pentacles. We have rainbows, butterflies. Those could be some signs that are how your ancestors also speak to you or are around you. We have the 7 of Swords. Okay, very funny. This reading was supposed to be what your ancestors want you to know. So maybe that's what they want you to know. But this is a specific storyline playing in for some people here. Your ancestors have had a well laid out plan go bad or turn negative because somebody betrayed them or cheated on the plan. So it's almost like I'm getting a vision of like people sitting in like a round table or sitting around a table and discussing a plan, and then someone snitches against your ancestor, which is why that plan doesn't work out in their lifetime, whoever this ancestor is. And there almost feels like a feeling like you have met the same enemy that your ancestor had in another body. We play out these ancestral karma and these cycles, and there's a niche of souls. I'm not getting into the spiritual whole lecture of how this works out. Do your own research, but it's almost like a lie or a deceitful person, a liar or a deceitful person or a snitch that your ancestor has had a particular loss of is also somebody who you've either met or is presently in your life, okay? And it's like your ancestors are telling you that they will protect you this time. They will not allow this person to derail whatever your plan is. Now this could be professionally or personally or close family member or relative, but the ancestors' energy is strongly saying, I am taking care of your plan. You got to trust them. And there's a message here of if you are investing in anything, especially financially, or if there's an academic investment on, don't try to cut the corners, okay? Don't try to cheat through your examination. Don't try to rush the process or take a shortcut in any way. The Page of Pentacles is that page childlike energy who does the right thing, who does do the whole homework, who does revise 5, 7, 10 times. So wow, a very specific and it almost felt like, wow, okay, difficult to explain sometimes, but anyhow, if that's message for you, you got that. Let's take more cards out while we work around this. What does pile number 1's ancestor want them to know? Okay, we have the 10 of Swords. Look at that. I mean, I told you this reading is intense, pile number 1's. The worst is over. That's what the 10 of Swords always talks about. I love that card whenever it shows up, and instead of the 9 of Swords, which is like a way worse card than the 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords is that the worst is done. Death happened. If you've recently lost somebody who's near and dear to you, they may return as a child or a pet in your home, okay? Very specific messages, guys. Please do not, and I'm always giving you these messages with as much sensitivity and with no intention to trigger anyone. I'm sorry if you've really lost somebody very recently, but I'm just reading my cards, okay? There's an end to a lie that is also happening for many of you. You're finishing a manipulative, deceitful journey with your own self. For many of you, this is an internal thing, not somebody external. It's almost like you as a child made a narrative which was a false narrative, and then you had to live through a journey and had some terrible betrayals along the way, and it's led you to this place of numbness, but you're being urged, you're being pushed, you're being nudged to get out of it now. That was a lesson, that was a karma to play out, but it's done, and you can't continue to escape life. Okay, wow, powerful first pile already. Let's see what more comes up. What does pile number one's ancestors want you to know? What does pile number one's ancestor want you to know? Okay, let's see these three first. Queen of Wands. Your destiny is to be the Queen of Wands. She's bold, she's fearless, she is seeing losses, she has taken risk. She does not allow these liars and these losses to become her narrative. She takes on the stage, she sings her heart out, she says what she wants to say fearlessly. This pile is being urged to look into what are your fears, pile number one. What are you trying to escape? What is that worst nightmare that is gripping you and you're not taking forward moving action? That is what your ancestor wants to come in and tell you. For some of you, this could be a female ancestor. Some of you have been a part of a lineage of a strong witch line. Okay? I mean, your grandparents, your grandmother have been witches, your aunts. So there's that energy here as well. Some of you have very strong artistian lineage. Okay? It's like you have grandparents or relatives or passed on loved ones who have had the ability to get on a stage and just own the audience. I'm specifically seeing a stage, so it's owning the audience kind of an energy, okay? We have, wow, look at that, Emperor. Strong fire sign energy coming in, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. We have Six of Pentacles, look at that. One of the things that you must do, okay, must do after watching this reading is donate in the name of your ancestors. If you don't know who, if you don't have somebody in mind, just donate clothes, money, food, and say it in your mind that I'm doing this as in the name of my ancestors. Okay, you cannot believe how beneficial it would be. It would come back to you 20 folds, pile number one. And it's a note to self as well. Please ensure that you donate in the next 10 or 15 days when you're watching this video. If you're watching this video when I post it, we are anyway in the Pitru Paksha in India, which is a time when we pay homage to our ancestors. If you're from the Western culture, you perhaps celebrate Halloween. The veil is thin. We all know that the veil is thin. This is a wonderful time to do donations. Okay, that's a very clear, direct message. If any of you have been waiting for a loan or a government approval on something, some kind of a sanction, some kind of a scholarship, some kind of a visa approval, that will work out for you. Okay. Okay, the Emperor is already giving me more messages, but I really want to see what this card is, so I'm going to flip that first. We have the Magician. Lovely. This pile comes from a strong lineage of ancestors who have been ninjas and who've been successful and almost being envious of by their peers in their respective field of work. Some of them have been, like I said, witches, and they have been like the most powerful witches of their times. Some of them have been scientists, doctors, artists. I mean, you know those big professions that demand you to give it your all, if you know what I mean. And that's the kind of lineage you come from. Some of you may be very strong workaholics, or have very strong work ethics, or you love what you do, or you drown yourself in your work, and that's what your escape is. You know, that's another thing that comes up. And high five, and I'm with you. I'm guilty of that at times. Queen of Pentacles. Money is definitely in your destiny. We have two queens here. I want to see the underlying card. We have the Seven of Wands. You're defending something. Okay, in this whole lifetime, you're pretty much defending. It's almost like from some of you, okay, don't take this message for everybody. I know it won't resonate. For some of you, within this lifetime, you will get to know a secret that has been well kept within your family. whether that secret is a big secret like from your country or the world, or whether that's a smaller secret within your smaller community, or few people in your family know and one of them who knows is you, something of that sort, okay? And I don't think it's something scandalous, it's more like it's something precious, it's too important to be shared with everyone in the house, okay? And you're going to be one of those people who get to know about it. That's another thing that your ancestor wants you to know. Master your craft and believe in your ability to manifest, okay? That's what I want to start off with the Magician card. Your ancestors want to tell you, you have every possible resource. Stop doubting yourself. Stop escaping from your emotions. Stop trying to make it harder on yourself than it needs to be. Stop trying to believe it is you against the world. You have a whole army behind you, okay? You just got to go ahead and take that first step. Ask yourself, what do I need to master myself at this craft? Vision board manifestations, water manifestation techniques would work wonders for you, pile number 1. There is a need for you to set precedents professionally, personally, in your home, in your professional life, as to who you are, how do you want things to run, to embody that energy of that Emperor and the Queen of Wands. Look at that powerful combination. They just say what they want. They don't over-explain. They're not apologetic, because they know what they're doing is good for them and it's good for the good of all. Okay, power looks good on you is another word. It's another sentence I'm channeling, and it seems like almost somebody in your ancestral family has said it or has been told that many times in their life. Power looks good on you. I want you guys to type that as an affirmation, as a confirmation for yourself. Power looks good on me. Some of you have a very negative or a struggled understanding of what power is. You may feel like, I'll give you an example, and I'm giving you that example to kind of explain where this comes from. I genuinely believe, and I find it hard to believe, that politicians are not really good people. You have to get into politics because, not that I'm saying no politician has ever done a good deed. Politicians do good deed, but they are typically not good people, because the way the system is, they can't really be good, if you know what I mean. They have to be cunning, they have to be manipulative, they have to bend the rules. Now, that is a version of power that I have a narrative about. I'm giving you my example for you to kind of make sense what this reading is talking about. Now, is that a positive or a negative connotation? Depends. If I want to be a politician, then maybe it's a negative connotation because I have blocks around it. But it could also mean that I have Is there kindness in the way you speak? Is there positivity, adventure in the way you speak? Is something that your ancestors want you to look at or notice, okay? Speech is a very important aspect here. Some of you may be asked or nudged towards learning a new language. This could be a computer language, or this could be like a literature language, of course, like a French, Spanish, or whatever. If you are being drawn to that, if any kind of a particular language calls to you, go for it. There is a calling for you there, okay? If you are somebody who has been believing in a particular dream, a particular vision, a particular relationship where your friends, your families have been naysayers to you, or let's say you have not allowed yourself to settle for anything less than what you want, because you do have a certain belief within you that says that I'm going to get what I deserve, or I know that what I'm asking for exists, that inner strength that is required to have that self-belief, your ancestors confirm to you through this reading that you will get it, okay? You will get it, pile number 2s. So don't lose hope, don't lose the positivity, even if other people think that you're being foolish in pursuing a particular path, a particular plan. Know that there is a powerful ancestor who's supporting you, who's taking care of you, almost spying on you. Page of Swords can sometimes talk about somebody spying on you. This is also another card that talks about be mindful of drawing in negative energy, or through the social media, or sharing what your plans are too early and too soon. Okay, and that can jinx something, especially if it's something related to gaining money or gaining any kind of a material wellness. Okay, Let's see if I'm missing out on any additional messages. There is a need for you to let yourself off the hook, whatever that means to you. This could sometimes means get off the social media, sometimes means go outdoors in the nature, sometimes means if there's a particular set of people you constantly socialize with and it is draining to you now, let yourself off the hook. This will mean different things to different people, okay? Remember that trust, love are the two most powerful forces. So when you trust yourself, when you love yourself, you are automatically at the best manifesting phase. That is a message that your ancestor wants to come in and remind you of almost. Okay, there are some of you in this particular pile who are powerful psychics or mediums. A similar message came in for pile 1, but they were more on the witchcraft and scientific side of it. But this one is like literal mediumship. Some of you can communicate to those on the other side of the realm. Some of you may have nightmares, perhaps sometimes of ghosts, or ghosts typically scares you. Okay, there's something to do with spirit world or spirits that do draw you in, which again talks to me about strong protection. Your ancestors want you to do a proper have a proper spiritual cleansing routine, wherein you take a salt bath, clean your home with salt, burn some sage, use the hamsa or the evil eye. There are different ways in which we can keep ourselves spiritually protected, work with crystals. Those are the kind of things that your ancestors really want you to be mindful of, that you're giving it the due energy and you're doing enough spiritual cleansing, okay? I think we did talk about travel, and that is definitely a significant message again coming up for you guys. There's a risk that you're scared to take. Maybe that has not unfolded for many of you. I feel strongly that some of you have not yet seen what this task is, or what this thing is that will demand you to take a leap of faith, but it is soon coming. And when it does, when you feel too scared to take that jump because you don't see a guarantee, just go ahead and take the leap of faith, is what your ancestors want you to know. Okay? If there is any kind of a sport or a language, both, that you've been trying to learn, I know I'm repeating myself with that language message, but again, came in, so I need to talk about that. Some of you may be people who want to pay some sort of a homage to a particular ancestor by putting up a tattoo or maybe a painting for them. Okay, so if there's a particular ancestor that you're very connected to, maybe you've been thinking about a tattoo, or that will come to you as life unfolds. Let's look at your oracle messages. We have library, take control of your own narrative, number 22. We have villain, 38. You can always rewrite the story. Going back to strength. Some of you are very scared to even share your dreams with your near and dear ones. And your ancestors want you to know that even if they do not accept your peculiarities, it does not nullify your dreams, it does not make it any lesser. The eclipse season, which is coming up if you're going to watch this when I post it, or whenever the next eclipse is a significant time frame for you, pile number 2s. Something is going to get rewritten. Let's say you've always known a particular story to be a certain way, an incident happened for you in a certain way in your mind, and that story is going to get changed. Now for some of you it's a very traumatic event, for others of you it could be just something about someone else, and you re-look at that or you rethink about that incident and you feel like, oh no, maybe this is not just the only way. There's a change in the storyline. Look at that, both of that. Rewrite your story and look at the narrative. This also talks about your ancestors asking you, are you kind to yourself? Do you allow yourself to set healthy boundaries? Do you punish yourself for the mistakes that you make, or you just simply learn and move on? Those are some questions your spirit guides, your ancestors want you to ask yourself. Because your mistakes are not things that you're supposed to beat yourself over, pile number 2s. When you see a feather, full moon, seashells, redhead, that's again something significant. A lot of these cards have redheads. Okay, those are some signs that your ancestors are trying to catch your attention towards something. Okay, don't let other people's narrative about you, their labels about who you are, define or decide your faith or your journey. Pile number 2 is very powerful messages today across all piles. Desecrated and blessed. Look at that. Sometimes this pile may have a problem of self-punishing or self-sabotaging. It's almost like there's a belief in you, for some of you at least, that you don't deserve good things to happen for you. And here's a message of gratitude coming in. Be grateful and know that you deserve each of the great things that you have, whether it's money, looks, great family, good health, a great job, wonderful pets. It could be anything, a kind heart. Okay? You're neither the villain nor the hero of anybody's story except your own. You're neither the hero nor the villain of anybody else's story, just your own. I just wanted to say that twice. Oh my God, we talked about spiritual cleansing. Here we go. Clear yourself. If you're still in the past, pile number 2, your ancestors are also telling you, let that thing go. Let that narrative end. Singing and dancing, how do you do that? And if your question was, some of you were questioning, how? I've been trying. Let your body loose. Go travel, go take up a sport, learn a language, sing, dance. And I know some people say, oh, you mean I'm going to distract myself? Yeah, I mean, that's exactly how you get over an emotion. I'm not saying you're delusional, so you don't know that an emotion exists. Allow that emotion to exist, but then do something to move that energy, to channelize that energy, to change that energy. Okay? If there's any event that comes up in the near future where you can go singing and dancing, please don't say no, is another clear, simple message from your ancestor here. Okay, I'm going to pull a postcard. If you've reached all the way till this reading, leave me a moon or a seashell, whichever one you're drawn to. Remember that, again, donation has very strongly come up for a collective. So I'm hopeful that all my tarot pals, us together, will be donating. Okay, a lot to those who are in need. That's a strong message across 2 piles now out of the 3 that we've done. Let's look at a postcard and see what comes up. I feel like we'll go with this one for you. Okay. Sometimes you feel like no one understands you. You're not heard. Oh my God, here goes the villain syndrome, huh? You're not heard, or even that you don't count. This, my dear, is a terrible illusion. Although your feelings tell you that abandonment is real, well, we who love you know better. You're never alone, and even when rejection happens, you're ultimately being protected. So better things can replace what wouldn't have worked in the first place. Everyone on this side of the wheel is watching over. Wow, wheel, again, mediumship coming in. Okay, Halloween is also a significant time frame for this pile. Is watching over you and rooting for your ultimate success. Life loves you, we love you, and you are a unique spark of the divine and have always connected to the light and to source. You are always in our care. Oh, trust and faith, trust and keep faith. Love you always and forever. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to read for you today, my dear tarot pals. If I helped you, if this connected with you, please don't forget to hit that like button. I'm always looking forward to hearing your stories and I love your comments. Thank you again. Until the next reading, take care. Bye-bye. Welcome pile 3s, those of you who picked the beautiful Sundress card and the number 41. There is a mercurial energy already very strong in this reading, which means there's definitely something related to trade, communication, technology that your ancestors want to communicate about. Another different energy that I immediately sense for this pile versus pile 1 and pile 2. Pile 1 and pile 2 was encouraging and soft and gentle, and this one seems like, and please do not be triggered, this seems like as if there's an angry ancestor here. Somebody's upset, they want you to know something that you've done wrong. It's almost like one of those elderlies who want to give you a piece of their mind, telling you where you're going wrong. That's that kind of energy. Some of you may struggle with body positivity, and that comes from an ancestral conditioning. That's another message, very strong, coming in for pile number 3s. If you're watching this when I post it, it is the Pitra Paksha, which is basically a great time to pay homage to ancestors. If you're from the Western culture, perhaps you used the same thing for Halloween. This is a wonderful month, wonderful time to connect with your ancestors, seek their forgiveness, and work on ancestral healing, bloodline healing. What have been the conditions under which some of you really need to also journal and think through the different environmental situations, the financial situation that your past 3 generations have been a part of, and what kind of wounds or suffering or trauma they may have been triggered or faced with. Okay. I think I did cover the body positivity aspect being an ancestral issue. This also, of course, talks about not letting the external environment or other people's label decide what or who you stand for. Okay, it's a very specific message. I mean, see where it falls in for you. We're going to dive into the tarot part of this reading. And see, I'm already struggling to speak for this pile. Okay, very different energy. Let's look at what your ancestors want you to know. Pile number 3s. What do your ancestors want you to know for pile number 3? Pile 3s, thank you. We have the 2 of Wands. Be careful of fireworks is, of course, one other message the channel. Oh my god, this is not funny. You can't make this up. Every pile has received this card of 6 of Pentacles, and the best thing to do during the transit that we are at right now is to give donations. As a collective, to all my tarot pals, I strongly urge you in the next 10 to 14 days, please ensure you donate to your capacity. If you have 10 rupees, give 2 rupees. It could be in the form of food, time, volunteering, but donations is something that as a collective, you can't make this up. We've kind of shuffled on camera 72 decks, 3 piles getting the same card again. I mean, yeah, sure, teach me probability. Let's move ahead. We have the Ace of Cups, self-love coming in with the first thing out. You can only fill other people's cup if yours is full. We have the Knight of Cups. We have the Devil. See, I told you there is an angry ancestor here. Okay. What is the message for pile number 3 from their ancestors? Queen of Wands. If you were drawn to pile 1 as well, you may have certain messages there. I'm saying that because we have 2 similar cards already showing up now. Okay. The Knight of Swords. You've said something to someone close to you which was very hurtful to the other person, and maybe you didn't mean it to hurt them. We have 2 aces, beautiful. That is also perhaps what your ancestors are angry about. That's not who you are. That's not how they've raised them. That's not how the lineage is. So if you know that there's somebody whom you've had a very ugly confrontation or conversation with, and you kind of said things that you didn't really mean, and they were kind of under the belt, there is a message here to go and seek forgiveness. Go make a fresh start. Go start, go speak your mind out, and do not let the devil, which is often indicating ego, obsession, darkness, hold you back from fixing something that can be fixable. Pile number 3s, okay? With the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles coming up, any of you who have any passion project, there's a creativity inside you, if there is any idea inside you that you keep thinking, maybe I should do something about it, maybe I should make a business of it, maybe I should reach out to other people and discuss this, but you're not doing it. Your ancestors are here telling you, please make a move on it. There is clearly an ability, an opportunity to initiate something and to do things. Something small as a seed, which is what the ace is, can grow into giving you the power, the recognition that you need if you're ready to step into the leader's role. The 2 of Wands talks about, there are 2 aspects of it. One is, do you have a clear plan? Do you know how you're going to achieve what you're going to achieve? Or is it all in the head? It's all foggy. Have you brought it pen to paper down? Are there small size goals that you've made for 6 months, 3 months, 1 year? If not, that's what the 2 of Wands first talks about. Second, with the fact that it's combined with the devil, are you constantly in the planning mode and not really actioning on anything? You're just daydreaming your life away, Knight of Cups, romanticizing it all, but actually not taking any action. So here, procrastination is one of the messages that your ancestors want you to warn you against. Go take that first step, go initiate that conversation. If you are any kind of an artist, this is a wonderful spread indicating make those first moves. You will be received way well than you can actually imagine. Okay, we have these two queens repeatedly showing up for many of our readings. That's your underlying energy, by the way. There's an opportunity for you here to make money, perhaps from multiple sources of income. And instead of, wow, we have the cards flowing over your deck. Hold on. Okay. Okay. What you need right now is focus and enough self-love, the ability to say to yourself, I deserve it. Also, to seek help from others. Six of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups is you can love yourself. And remember that if you truly do love yourself, you would not shy away from asking for the help that you need, from reaching out to the people who can help you and give you the right guidance. So if you're holding yourself back, that is a message coming in. Don't do that. There's something creative, there's something big which can make you money. Love yourself enough to go out and seek the right support, seek the right guidance that can truly help you ahead, okay? Do not be... There's an ancestor, again, going back to that message of anger. It keeps going back to that anger. Somebody is angry at you, or your lineage is angry at you because you've forgotten who you are and how much power you really hold. And you've become a puppet to certain instant gratifications that you have. Like, maybe you really want to lose weight. I'm giving an example, okay? Maybe you really want to lose weight, and that's going to make a difference in your confidence. That's going to make a difference in how you perceive yourself. That is the next big thing that you want to crack. But when that burger comes up, or when that diet plan goes off, there's this instant gratification that you would chase and then get into a lot of depression for not really doing the right thing. And that is what makes your ancestors angry at you, because you know what is the right thing to do, but you're not doing it because you're allowing the lower emotions to overpower you. Now, I used an example of weight loss. This could be about self-doubt. This could be about confidence. This could be about body positivity. It could be about anything. Anything that you know already in your mind and your heart, that is the good thing to do. Okay, but you're struggling with willpower. That is where your ancestors want to drive your focus on. It's literally like I'm hearing somebody giving like a long lecture, like, one of those grandpa images, and telling them that you need to get your shit together. That is what's coming in. There's also, again, that emphasis on money can come your way. There's a blessed Lakshmi energy that I see in this. You guys need to acknowledge it, connect with Goddess Lakshmi. There is a Lakshmi Puja duration coming in. Some of us celebrate that during the Diwali time. So that's a wonderful time frame or timeline also to connect with the energy of the goddess, okay? Create and be more creative. Take more initiatives is the messages that's coming in from your ancestors, pile 3. There's almost like there's this push to tell you that nobody's coming to save you. You got to save yourself. So instead of daydreaming it all, you have the potential. Go ahead and take those steps, have those conversations, and break away from this instant gratification cycle. They believe in you, but they're just upset that you're not believing in yourself. That's the message coming in strong and clear. If any of you have been looking for love or a relationship, if you're single, there's definitely an opportunity for you here. Be mindful though, because we do have that devil information showing up. Don't let that relationship make you obsessive and forget about your own life purpose. Some of you are in a cycle of going through toxic relationships or things that are not working out, and an ancestor here wants to come in and say, until you are in a cycle of relationships that pretty much end up nowhere, this is a message coming in that says that if you keep losing yourself in the relationships, and if you start making the other person accountable for your happiness, accountable for your financial security, you would not really be in union with the partner to be. The ancestor here is very clear. You got to be your own Queen of Wands. Step into your power, fight the devils and the terrors that you hold, and then comes that relationship that you deserve. Okay, let's look at further. Oh my god, here we go. Homeward. Take yourself out on a date. It's a very strong message again about self-love, loving yourself, connecting to being content with yourself before you actually get into a romantic relationship. If you are already in a settled equation, you're married, this again still has that message of the more in touch with yourself as you are, the more your relationships are healthier. Some of you may actually be also bringing in a pet or a particular member may go through an expansion in their home life if you have a larger family. Is another message coming in from the ancestors. Slay the dragons. We talked about facing your fears. The number 6 again resonates with the energy of the devil. We have quite a lot of 6s. Some of you could be seeing 666. Ungrateful, and the other aspect is thankful. This is the beautiful message that we were talking about. There is a lot in your life that your ancestors want you to focus on, and first be grateful for the journey that has led you here, and remember that nothing that you have, you began from ground zero. Some of us do tend to believe, and I'm not saying that to yourself, it happens to all of us. We feel like we did everything alone, forgetting the n number of situational support, the things that lined up for us, those who were before us, who fought certain battles for us in order for us to succeed in whatever you're doing here and now. Gratitude journaling is what will help you tremendously. That's what your ancestors also with that donation that we were talking about. It's a wonderful way to thank your ancestors and connect with them by saying, like, you acknowledge through the donation that you're doing everything that they've ever done for you. Let's look at some angel guidance card for you before we look at the postcard message. We have Goddess. Express your divine feminine energy, embracing its magical intuition and nurturing qualities. We did talk about this when we were talking about Goddess Lakshmi as well. Connecting to your divine feminine energy, loving yourself, loving your body, and listening to that intuition. You are profoundly clairvoyant. There is something that you're clearly looking at, you're aware of. It brings me back to that same message. Your ancestor, at least one of them, is upset because you are aware of a particular wrongdoing some of you have done to someone in your life, and you see where you made a mistake, but you're just in denial, or your ego is holding you back from accepting it or acknowledging it or opening that conversation. This is again that reminder of whatever you see in your mind's eye is your truth. Stop denying it, is what your ancestors come in to share with you. Let us get you a postcard message. If you've reached all the way till this reading, do leave me a dragon emoji, because that's what you've been asked to fight, or leave me a mic, okay, because you're clearly needing to speak up, speak your truth, own your mistakes. So a mic or a dragon emoji, whichever one you're more connecting to as a message. Let's see what postcard message comes in for you. Pile number 3. We know everything in the universe is perfect, even in its flaws. And when we back to positivity, love your body just the way it is, that's that repeated message, and we view the creations of spirit in total awe. All is unique, yet part of a unity of existence. But the human experience is a little different from ours. You tend to have specific standard for what you consider ideal. Oh my God, this is the cards that we shuffled, and we've talked about this. Wow. So forget your idea of perfection and see through our eyes now. Allowing things to be as they are without judgment. Don't wait until a perfect moment or mood to start something. Instead, enter life with all the flawsomeness. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. Let others be who they are too, imperfect and human, complex or simple. It doesn't matter, for there's always something to discover, experience and love. When you drop the need for an ideal, you uncover the real treasure, which will be far more interesting and valuable. Loving you like crazy. I love this message for you. I love doing this reading for you as always. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, for letting me channel for clearly very powerful and slightly upset ancestors here. I wish you guys a wonderful, wonderful October if you're watching this while I post it. It is a timeless reading, of course. So engage with the content if it helped you, and I'll see you in your next one. Take care. Bye-bye.